Now I would like the participants to introduce themselves one by one.
From me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very good afternoon to everybody. My name is Abdul Wahid Usmani. I'm working as the Director of Quality for Indus Medical University, Karachi.
I myself is Shiva Heather, Director Quality Enhancement Cell, Indus University.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Suraya Khatun, Additional Director QC, Indus Medical University.
I'm not the QA officer from which Star Element QC Director as well.
Dr. Saifullah from Newport. Danish Ahmed from Indus Medical University. Assalamualaikum. Computer Business Management.
Assalamualaikum everyone. This is After Senior Manager QC Test.
From this power, manager and
I'm Hafiza Adil from Down University of Hyderabad. This is the skills officer from Capital.
Now I would like to invite respected Director QAC, Ms. Shima Heather, to please address the audience with her opening remarks.
Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to all of you. I would like to appreciate all of you who are present here in person. First of all, I would like to appreciate Dr. Wahid Usmani, who took his time out because from his busy schedule, as he is our permanent speaker since last 8 years, and we are very much believing that we should organize some capacity building workshop. Why I requested to come over here, because it's a workshop, not a webinar or a seminar. And after COVID, we can see each other, we can meet with each other. That would be great. Secondly, I would like to appreciate Dr. Fabrizio, whom we recently requested, myself and Ms. Alisha Maham visited the INQAAHE headquarters. We had a wonderful meeting with them. And as you know, INQAAHE is a quality assurance agency, is working since last 30 years and working wonderfully. So it's nice of Dr. Fabrizio and Dr. Anna, who accepted our invitation, and they would like to share their views that what they are doing and how they can support to QA of the Pakistani universities. So that's a wonderful. We requested Dr. Nasir Shah as well, but unfortunately today they have an event of some in HEC and PM House for the sports activity, which is very important as well. So he might join us, but we don't know yet. QA and IP, you know, is continual. We are seeing that on the QEC family, there is a continuous workshops going on. Bakai has on self-assessment report, and yourself organize on IP. So it should be a series. It's my request that if we all of us will talk with each other, so we can make it series. Maybe we can talk on different topics. So that will be convenient and good material and for learning capacity. Two other people, University of Southern, someone supposed to join us. I don't know if Dr. Azhar wanted to come. I highly appreciate Higher Education Commission Sindh. They join us virtually, and from KPK Higher Education Commission, somebody join us as well. Apart from this, for my registration, I can see 21 university requested to join in person, and almost 48 university are joining us via online session virtually. So hopefully this session will give you a very good knowledge and will do the capacity building. So from my side, welcome all of you and very good luck to you.
Thank you, Ms. Chima. We are honored to have INQAAHE Board of Directors, Dr. Fabrizio Trifiro and Dr. Prades here in the workshop. It's our privilege to introduce Dr. Fabrizio. He is an international expert in the regulation, quality assurance, and recognition of international education. He heads ECCTIS, formerly UKNARIC, Quality Benchmark Services, aimed at supporting the recognition of international qualification and leads strategic engagement with key international and national stakeholders. Prior to joining NARIC, Fabrizio was the UK QA for over 10 years, where he led on the quality assurance of UK TNE, international strategic engagement, and the international student experience. Fabrizio sits in the board of directors of the International Quality Network for Quality Assurance in Higher Education in INQAAHE, and is a reviewer for a number of international quality assurance journals. In Pakistan, he has engaged closely with HEC with regard to the development of the quality assurance framework for TNE, and more recently with NNBCTC with regard to the quality assurance and international benchmarking of vocational education and training. Fabrizio holds a PhD in political theory and cultural studies, an MSc in social research methods, and an MA in human rights. Along with him, I would like to introduce Dr. Prades. She sits in the board of directors of International Network for Quality Assurance Agencies in Higher Education as a treasurer. She is head of internationalization and knowledge generation department of AKU Catalonia, where she has been working since 2001. She has a degree in psychology and a PhD in pedagogy from the University of Barcelona. She has been active in designing quality assessment methodology for joint degrees following the European approach and designing good practices guidelines. She has been involved among other European projects related to the improvement of employability in higher education, skills for employability for program development, instrument that support for labor market and higher education. In the project INQAAHE, with purpose to devise an assessment methodology of the impact of external quality assurance procedures. She has several publications derived from her involvement in the upper mentioned studies as well as the project in which she has participated. During the last year, her main endeavor in AKU Catalonia has been the building up of a system of evidences for quality assurance, official descriptors, academic indicators, assessment results, graduates and employer surveys, and the integration of these indicators in a platform for public information in order to generate trust in the Catalan higher education system. So please give a warm welcome to INQAAHE Board of Directors to enlightening us with your knowledge and share introduction to INQAAHE and best practices in peer review. Dr. Fabrizio, over to you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the warm welcome. Can you hear us okay?
Can you unmute the mic?
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Can't hear you.
You
Okay.
can't hear me. Anna, you go ahead.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put some headphones.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear us? Can you hear us okay?
Arisha, can you confirm that do you hear us here in Indus University?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we can share the presentation, Fabrizio,
Yeah.
and let's begin.
Can you hear us both, or can you hear just Anna?
We can hear both of you now.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Okay, let's have a look. Where is it? I've got a lot of things.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm trying to go from
the presentation mode.
Slideshow from beginning. Here it is.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for your kind introduction and warm welcome. I would like to thank Indus University and particularly Shima and Arisha for giving us the opportunity to participate in this workshop. It is an honor and a pleasure. I'm going to begin the presentation by giving a quick overview of what is INQAAHE, and Fabrizio will follow up with best practices in peer review. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is INQAAHE? INQAAHE is all of us. INQAAHE is a network that began with 8 members in 1991. And nowadays it has more than 350 members distributed around the globe, which include external quality assurance agencies, quality enhancement cells from higher education institutions, individual affiliates, as well as other quality assurance networks. So each dot in the map is a window to an office with professionals just like yourself that are working with the aim of enhancing tertiary education. So if, for instance, we were to open the window from Montreal, Canada, you would see an agency that is operating since the beginning of the 1990s, and it's carrying out mainly audits, and it changed their approach in order to assess the efficiency of internal quality assurance systems. If we open the window from Buenos Aires, Argentina, we would see an agency which is designing right now a methodology in order to assess whether higher education institutions can really do online teaching, because we all know that emergency remote teaching is not the same that online education. And then if you happen to open the window to Karachi, to Indus University, and you are from Barcelona, you may discover an impressive dashboard of indicators, and you may discover that these indicators can be benchmarked nationally. And you may discover that you share the concern with, also we have in INQAAHE in Barcelona about, are we really capitalizing on this huge amount of data that we have? Could we generate more value from our data? And this is the potential of this network that we are writing. Next one, please, Fabrizio. Okay, so our mission is to promote and advance excellence in tertiary education, in higher education, through the support of an active international community of quality assurance. And how are we engaging this community of quality assurance? Focusing on the development of theory and practice on quality assurance, strengthening exchange and understanding of policies and actions in quality and quality assurance, promoting quality assurance for the benefit of tertiary education, institutions, students, and society at large. And this last statement has to do with relevance. This is why we are here for, all of us. And this is why in INQAAHE we have a connection with the International Journal of Quality in Higher Education, and all of our members receive this journal. This is why we organize biannual forums and biannual conference. This is why we have developed a quality assurance program, which is open source and it's available on our website. This is why we carry out our global report. And this is why we have a funding scheme. In fact, INQAAHE is the only network that gives back to its members. We have 2 annual grants, and we have a capacity building funding call. Next slide, please. What are the values that we cherish? We cherish inclusiveness. You don't need to be assessed to be part of this network. Diversity, we are global. Our board has representation of all the regions of the world. Integrity, of course. Independence. INQAAHE's mandate comes from its members. There is no dependency whatsoever to any government or international organization. and collaboration. Since the beginning, it's the central concept of INQAAHE. Is information sharing, is capacity building, is advancing knowledge together about quality assurance and quality assurance procedures. Next slide, please. We are driven by an internationalization principle, and proof of that is that if you see the places where we have held forums and conferences, by now we have covered the globe twice, at least twice. Next slide, please. And this slide is just a little reminder that quality might mean different things among us, because quality has different legitimate voices, such as the legal voice, quality as complying with legal regulations, such as the subject discipline voice, quality as what experts, peer reviews, agree about in relation to their special field, such as the business economic perspective in terms of results-oriented approach, consumer perspective, quality as matching the requirements and expectations of students, labor market perspective, quality as relevance to labor market, capacity to innovate and respond to their needs, quality as the ability to implement policy, this quality as innovation, the own organization, the higher education institution being able to improve by itself, right? So this implies different roles of external quality assurance agencies. We may have a role as a gatekeeper. We may have a role as holding institutions accountable to society. And we may have a role as capacity building for higher education institutions, fostering their innovation, their own innovation. We may have a role as measuring institutional performance. And of course, we have different external quality assurance procedures, accreditation, audits, assessments of performance indicators, evaluation. And it may be applied, they may be applied to programs, to institutions, or to services. And I wanted to cite two definitions of quality, of the several ones that they are by former presidents of INQAAHE. David Woodhouse, that has a nice open source book, which is called A Brief History of Quality Assurance, a short history of quality assurance, would say that quality, at the end of the day, is fitness for purpose. But Susanna Karahayan would say quality has to do, it's a must, it has to do with relevance, it has to do with sustainable development goals. Okay? We have to be relevant. Next slide, please. And now I'm going to just have a little brief overview of the evolution of external quality assurance. Since the 1960s, there were only quality assurance agencies in the United States. They were created because they had concern about how confident you could be about the adequacy of education provided by another institution, or a known institution, maybe far away from where they were hiring at the moment. And then there were also, they wanted to be confident about the capabilities of graduates from the professional field. That's why there were created two different kinds of external quality assurance agencies, one's generalists and one's professionals. But it wasn't until the 80s and 90s that really the big expansion of external quality assurances happened. And it went hand in hand with the massification of higher education institutions, with the increased numbers of students and the increased importance, the key role of higher education institutions in the economy, in the knowledge economy of our societies. And these external quality assurance agencies have a strong national orientation, opposed to the United States of America agencies that were not non-governmental and natural. Okay, and we have seen in the recent years a huge diversification of the task about what these external quality assurance agencies are carrying out, because we are seen as policy instruments to promote policies in our higher education systems. Fine. Next slide, please. And finally, I want to present you the board, the new board from INQAAHE. We are just since this October, okay? And just a reminder that we are here for you. Please reach to us, to anything. We will love to know from you. Okay, so now Fabrizio, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Anna, can you hear me okay? Just gonna double check whether you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Now, in this second part of the presentation, I'd like to outline some best practice in external peer review. As you can imagine, this is a huge and such a crucial aspect of quality assurance, which cannot be rightly covered in 10 minutes. So it is. I will just paint or point to some key principles, and this is more of a tester of the types of capacity development which INQAAHE, as the all international network of quality assurance bodies, can provide to its members. So we can provide support to agencies, to higher education institutions in strengthening their approach to external peer review, for example, through workshops on this topic. Now, I'll start with a very formal and simple definition of external quality assurance, which is about checking that education providers are meeting agreed expectations about quality and standards, even when no one is looking. So really, and I take this from a definition of quality, which I happen to see in a coffee shop here near to where I live. A definition from Henry Ford. It says that quality means doing it right when no one is looking. So it is about external quality assurance. Is about checking that institutions in their daily operations, in the daily life, meet expected standards, meet expectations about quality. And this definition is a very general, overarching definition which doesn't point to a specific concept of quality. So it is about quality assurance is about ensuring that institutions meet agreed expectations, and different countries, different institutions also may have different conception of what quality is. And when you do quality assurance, external quality assurance, you operate within a given framework. And as peer reviewers, the first thing that you need to do is to be trained by the relevant quality assurance body, the relevant regulator about the qualifications framework, the standards frameworks that you will have to implement. So what I'd like to do in this session is to give you some to point you to some general considerations about best practice in a number of core aspects of external peer review. I mentioned that first of all there will be a training, and I won't go into that. So when a quality assurance body engage with external peers to inform the external quality assurance, they will have to train those. Then reviewers will have to carry out usually a desk-based analysis of information submitted by institutions. They will have to triangulate evidence, coming to conclusion, reaching a consensus, and also I will point to some top tips around carrying out effective review meetings. An important aspect of the work of a peer reviewer is writing reports, but I won't go into that. So with regard to the self-evaluation document analysis, SED stands for self-evaluation document. This is the document that institutions will have to will normally have to prepare to inform the external review by part of the peer review team. It is important for peer reviewers to read the documentation carefully, looking at the evidence supporting the statement in the self-evaluation document, making notes of any issues that they see emerging. And what I'd like to say here, that any issue here refers to both concerns or areas which need clarification, but issues can also be elements of good practice. So it is important always when you read the self-evaluation documents, when you look at evidence, to look for both areas of concerns, things that you don't understand properly, and areas of good practice, because one of the key function of external quality assurance is also that of driving quality across the sector through the sharing of good practice, not only the sharing of bad practice. When you carry out external peer reviews, it's also very important to be aware of the context in which the institution operates. Different institutions have different missions, which differ from your own, from the institutions you come from as a peer. So it is very important to try to have an objective stance, not trying to impose what you think is right for your institution on the institution you are reviewing. So it is very important. It is a very easy thing to do. You come from a particular institution, so every institution needs to do things in the way we do it. And the team must be able to reach a reasoned consensus on lines of inquiry. So when you read the self-evaluation document, try to identify possible lines of inquiry to pursue further in the review meeting,